To the shining coastline, voices rising, building bridges that align.
We come together with bold ideas to share. The future's ours, we're ready, we prepare.
One Korean, one that feel the power, hearts connected in a rising hour. Here in Colorado, we become a song, together moving progress strong. We rise, we shine, we go the sky. In Cuba, in Colorado, dreams fly high. Youth in action, creating the digital beat. The Caribbean speaks with rhythm and heat.
Ideas flowing like the tide of the sea. Each connection shaping who we'll be.
Let the data flow like waves. Young and bold, the future paves in Cuba. The Caribbean finds its way. Dreams of tomorrow take root today. One Caribbean, one that feel the power. Hearts connect. El futuro es nuestro, listos para construir. Cada chispa, cada voz, rompe el ruido y alza veros. Mano a mano la decisión es unirnos con visión.
Un Caribe, una vez siente el poder, corazones latiendo al amanecer. En paralelo nos volvemos canción, unidos por la transformación.
Nos logramos, brillamos, codificamos el cielo. En Cuba, en Varadero, soñamos el primero. We gotta be one day. We gotta be one day. Nos amamos, brillamos, codificamos el cielo. En Cuba y en Varadero, soñamos sin miedo. Juventud creando compasión digital. El Caribe piensa en un lenguaje global. Ideas que fluyen al ritmo del mar. Cada clic nos vuelve a conectar. Que los datos fluyan como olas. Fuerza joven, visión que no se agota. En Cuba, Caribe, se encuentra sincero. Sueños digitales florecen en Varadero.
Un Caribe, una vez siente el poder, corazones latiendo al amanecer. En Varadero nos volvemos canción, unidos por la transformación.
Brillamos, codificamos el sitio. En Cuba, en Varadero, soñamos igual. Hola, mi hermano. Somos la chispa, una arena, un corazón, una marca. Desde nuestras cosas hasta el ciberespacio. En Cuba nace el paso, lideramos despacio. You did it. Yeah, yeah. One voice, one net, let's rise. From the islands to the shining coastline. Voices rising, building bridges that align.
We come together with bold ideas to share. The future's ours. We're ready, we prepare.
Every spark, every sound breaks the silence, spreads around. Hand in hand, we make the choice to stand united, raise our voice. One Korean, one that feel the power. Hearts connected in a
Buenas tardes, le pedimos por favor, para comenzar, que se acomoden en sus asientos para poder seguir con la sesión de la tarde. Muchas gracias.
Our session of this event. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back. Thank you for sticking and staying with us. Those of you in the room with us, those of you joining online, it has been an amazing 2.5 days, and the curtains are finally coming down. Just before we went to break, we heard the word transformation used a lot, but we were reminded that transformation, if we're talking about it, it has to be just, it has to be creative, innovative, it has to be empowering, inclusive, and it must be transparent. It must be one based on trust. And so now, as the Caribbean Internet Governance Forum marks over 2 decades of leadership, the region stands at a pivotal moment, balancing local development with regional integration and global influence. Recent sessions have illuminated pressing issues, emerging opportunities, and the value of unified action. The pathway ahead demands coherence, collaboration, and agility. By synthesizing insights and forging common practices and priorities, the Caribbean can shape a digital future that is secure, inclusive, and prosperous, championing regional voices on the global stage and delivering tangible progress for all Caribbean people. This next segment focuses on policy synthesis and strategic priorities, charting a coherent path for Caribbean internet governance. So what will we be talking about? We're looking at integrating insights across sessions to inform regional action, collaboration, and representation in global fora. To take us through this discussion, I now invite to the stage our Secretary General of the CTU, Mr. Rodney Taylor, and he is accompanied by Ms. Gabrielle Johnson, Vice Chair, Caribbean ICT Youth Network. Please make them welcome. Un gran aplauso.
Okay, good afternoon. In the last session, thanks for your energy. The room is still full, and I'm sensing you're paying very close attention. So, over the past 3 days, we have examined the Caribbean's priorities for a resilient and inclusive digital future. And this conversation is about bringing those threads together. How do we connect everything? What was said in our sessions and what it means for regional action and for how we show up in global forums.
Thank you, SG. From the CIGF floor to the CIGF plenaries, the messages were consistent throughout. Keep the Caribbean voice strong, place youth and women at the center, and ensure digital transformation delivers tangible benefits for our communities.
And to start with the foundations, we trace the region's internet governance journey from WISIS 2005. I mentioned that this was the first regional internet governance forum in the world, to today in Cuba, 21, signifying, in many cultures, 21 is a sign of maturity. And I think we have really matured at the age of 21 here in beautiful Varadero. Today, and we traced it from 2005 to today and reaffirmed that multi-stakeholder collaboration is essential to shaping resilient and inclusive governance.
Yes, youth voices echoed that throughout. Young people positioned themselves as innovators and as advocates for digital inclusion, technological sovereignty, and meaningful global engagement. The sentiment was clear. Regional collaboration is not optional if we expect to participate effectively in global processes.
Precisely. Participants call for harmonization of the ICT space, stronger infrastructure, and the establishment of regional data hubs and governance frameworks. These were presented as essential to reducing fragmentation and to support scale across CARICOM.
Cyber resilience also featured strongly. There were concerns about the rise in cyber attacks and about climate-related vulnerabilities. The need for sustainable telecoms networks that can withstand shocks was emphasized repeatedly.
And within data governance, the call continued for frameworks that enable responsible sharing and protection while supporting cross-border services. The emphasis was on practical governance that underpins development and safeguards rights.
On AI, speakers stressed AI's practical value in disaster response, tourism, agriculture, and health, alongside the need for responsible use.
And yes, the message across panels was to integrate AI thoughtfully, embedding ethics, inclusion, accountability, and robust data governance.
On day 2, there was a consensus to mainstream AI into the Caribbean Internet Governance Policy Framework, with a focus on innovation, inclusion, accountability, ethics, and data governance, so that deployment aligns with our regional values and priorities.
So that mainstreaming was presented as a way to capture benefits while managing risk, development first and risk aware. I was also pleased to note reference to the region's recently launched Caribbean AI Task Force and its role in shaping our overarching approach.
Turning to participation, the CIGF made it clear that youth are not merely beneficiaries, but contributors. They asked to be engaged year-round through the CIYN and brought forward ideas on digital inclusion and on participating visibly in global fora.
Yes, and I encourage our young people here in Cuba to join our CIYN network and to help to build that network and strengthen our numbers. So women's leadership was highlighted as well with concrete evidence. Cuba's, as led by example, with 71% of telecoms executives being women. And we're excited as a regional, and this is a very, we're excited at the regional benchmark that Cuba has set. Mentorship and expanded opportunities were called for to maintain that trajectory.
And there was an explicit commitment to continue regional dialogue toward a virtuous internet, to sustain youth engagement via the CIYN, to strengthen women's leadership in ICT, and to prepare collectively for digital future.
On global processes, our discussions covered the WSIS Plus 20 review, the Global Digital Compact, and the renewal of the IGF. The Caribbean was urged to amplify its voice and to ensure youth participation is visible and substantive.
When we consider the CIGF at 21 and the region's track record, the collaboration needed to produce 4 editions of the CIGF, to deliver 18 IXP workshops, and to support the formation of national IGFs. We also recognize that challenges in capacity and in avoiding duplication of efforts still exist.
Strengthening regional, global linkages and increasing global South participation were therefore emphasized as ways to advance the goals articulated in the forum. That sits alongside technical engagement on ongoing reforms, especially where input is time sensitive.
One of those time-sensitive areas in is internet resources. We heard that the ICP2 governance framework is under review, with public consultations scheduled for October to December. No problem.
Okay, so we spoke as well about ICANN's next GTLD. That's a generic top-level domain application round and is expected in April 2026, presenting an opportunity for the Caribbean in terms of digital identity and branding.
There was broad agreement that technical engagement in registry reforms and in ICANN programs aligns with the region's aim to be present and prepared.
Online safety and child protection were a major focus on day 3. The figures presented were stark. Half of children report feeling addicted to the internet. 2/3 feel unsafe online, and 40% have been solicited for nudes. It was also noted that AI, through deepfakes and other generative tools, has intensified these risks.
The United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime, the ITU, and other United Nations bodies emphasize international cooperation, national cybersecurity strategies, and education. The call to action recorded in these sessions was to adopt regulatory frameworks, deploy the ITU Child Online Protection Toolkit, and sustain global dialogue on safety.
Commitments were restated in that context. The UN and the ITU reaffirmed work on global online safety frameworks, and there was a clear alignment with the CTU on deepening collaboration in governance and safety.
We also reflected on our host countries' experience. We heard about legislative progress in Cuba, the Children's Code and the Family Code embedding digital rights, and about the connectivity drive by ETIXA, which is connecting 86% of villages and addressing areas of silence.
That perspective was coupled with a sustained focus on women in tech, human capital development, and inclusive data governance. The message was that connectivity, skills, and rights-based frameworks must move together.
And participants highlighted the link between digital transformation and local development, integrating science, technology, and innovation with municipal governance, enabling new business models, and using digital government to strengthen transparency. Universities were presented as central through training, research, and innovation, with examples such as Observatorio Ecologico, working on food security.
Well done, well done. Bringing it all together, the overall takeaways recorded across days 1 to 3 were as follows. Pursue regional unity and a stronger global presence. Keep youth and women at the core of our efforts. Treat AI and emerging technologies as both opportunity and risk, requiring responsible governance. Prioritize cybersecurity and online safety, and link digital transformation to local development through empowered municipalities and integration of CTI.
And the recorded commitments were clear. Harmonize data governance and ICT frameworks regionally. Strengthen youth and women's leadership, including through high-level opportunities. Amplify Caribbean perspectives in the WSIS Plus 20, GDC, which is the Global Digital Compact, and IGF processes. Engage in governance reforms that affect the Caribbean, and seize opportunities to advocate for our region so that global opportunities remain accessible and affordable.
Finally, it was noted that this work is supported by ongoing collaboration. The UN, the ITU, and the CTU committed to deepening cooperation on online safety and governance. Youth networks committed to remaining engaged year-round, and governments and stakeholders pledged to expand connectivity, close gaps, and sustain inclusive policy development.
That captures the record of what was said over the last 3 days. Thank you to all who contributed in plenary, in breakout rooms, and at the CIGF for shaping a coherent Caribbean narrative that we can carry into the global arena. I thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you so very much for that beautiful summary over the last 3 days, really bringing everything together and explaining to us what are the things that have been most important. Now, as I've been listening to everything over the last 3 days, I can't help but just say to myself that I think as countries within the Caribbean, we have to do our own introspection. A place is as good as its people, right? And so we need to ask ourselves, what are the standards that currently exist? And are there gaps? What are the holes? Where are they? And how can we fix them? The second one is, well, who can we collaborate with that will help us fill those gaps to make sure that our standards are even better than the ones exist? And then we constantly have to research and see what's happening around the world and how it is our standards are matching up to that. Now, after hearing those insights, clearly we want to open it up for us to have questions, answers, and commentary. Therefore, I'm going to invite Ms. Michelle Garcia, Marketing and Communication Specialist, representing the CTU, to the stage for our open microphone session. No tengas miedo, ¿ok? Queremos la pregunta, las respuestas, comentarios, lo que sea.
Gracias, Terry. Ok, buenas tardes a todos. Todos han tomado un buen
Good afternoon, everyone. I believe you had a very good cup of coffee, and we are ready to continue. So,
session, and we're almost at the end of the 3-day discussion on Internet Governance Forum, on Internet governance. Now, over the past days, we've explored critical topics, including digital inclusion, cybersecurity, artificial intelligence, and youth empowerment. Now, this is your opportunity to share your thoughts, questions. Some of you didn't get an opportunity to ask a question. Este es el momento. And share your ideas directly with the community. Now, we value your participation as we work together towards a resilient, inclusive, and innovative digital future for the Caribbean. Now, who wants to be first? Kian. Alguien.
I think I saw Cleveland's hand from
Yes.
the ITU.
Mr. Cleveland Thomas, you're first.
Well, first of all, thank you so much. And as we just heard this summary of what transpired over the last 3 days, I mean, it's quite impressive. And on behalf of the ITU, I want to congratulate both the administration of Cuba and also the CTU and others who have participated and made this a success. For me, I think, as I said, it is, when the question was asked sometime earlier, what is that one word that I can possibly use? And for me, it was full. And when I said full, my takeaway here for the ITU is that there's still a lot of good progress made in so many areas, but also an opportunity for further collaboration with the CTU, with the Cuban administration, and I should say on behalf of the Secretary General, Doreen Bogdad Martin, to convey congratulations also to the Cuban administration for hosting this event that was extremely well organized, excellent in every respect. Thank you for the hospitality to all of us. So for us within the ITU and having had this experience, again, it was just full in every respect. I think both you, Secretary General Rodney, and your team, you should feel very, very, very comfortable and that you had what we will classify as successful event. The ITU look forward to working with each and every other group within this meeting and elsewhere to further the work of the Caribbean region.
Gracias, Señor Thomas. And I would like to echo the sentiments of our Secretary General. He said that, well, Cuba has really raised the bar, set the standard for the CIGF going forward. And the accommodation, the hospitality, the warmth, the service has been excellent, excellent facilitation. We thank you again, Minister. All right, anybody else? Who's next? Cleveland, you passing the baton? To whom? Juan? All right. Juan, you're up next.
Bueno, yo tengo dos.
well, I have a couple of one suggestion, one question. I don't know whether I make a suggestion first or the question. Well, I will pose a question first, and then I will leave the suggestion for later. So the question is that in this kind of events, there is always, we always have the opportunity of share ideas, and we align positions. And I am very pleased, extraofficially speaking, that there are cooperations and ways of collaborations that are being implemented across different entities and specialists from Cuba and from the Caribbean nations as well. Just a few minutes ago, Michelle met to receive the methodology. The Secretary General also showed interest on the issue of telemedicine. And as it happens in other settings, especially in the World Summit on the Society of Information, these purposes must be turned into concrete actions. So my question, just to leave that question open, not to be answered here, but something that I want you to think of is to turn this interest into concrete actions. And for that, we must work together. And the second thing that I wanted to say, as Chengetai just said, and also what I said in the capacity building session, this is the year where we will hold the 20th anniversary of the World Summit on the Information Society. There is a process on the way that will start with the negotiation of the final document. In this connection, Cuba has publicly made its contribution and its response to the questionnaire. We would like to share with the Caribbean our position, and to the best possible extent to align our position so that the voice of a region can be heard strongly in the negotiating process and also in the summit itself to be held in December. This is my suggestion, to try to coordinate the points of view, the positions, and exchange these stands to find common ground that we can forward jointly, so that if the 20 countries that are members of the CTU present one voice, we could have a greater resonance in the upcoming conference.
We continue? Okay.
Absolutely. But let me just say that absolutely, and I appreciate that. And this is the reason why the CTU exists, to promote this kind of cooperation, and we have done it throughout the development of the Global Digital Compact, in the ITU World Telecoms Development Conference, and so on. And I welcome the opportunity to collaborate further. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you very much. This is Anya Gengo from the IGF Secretariat for the record. Just on behalf of the Secretariat, I would like to, first of all, congratulate the organizers, the CTU, the host country, the government of Cuba, but primarily the entire community of the Caribbean on successfully delivering this process. I know there's been a hard work behind this of a couple of months. We have certainly enjoyed. What I wanted to say is just our observations on 2 points. One is on the substance, another one is on the logistics and just the spirit that exists here. On the substance, we've been really impressed primarily by the actions and ideas that we've heard, which we think dominated over just articulating problems. And that is so motivational for all of us. And I want to use the opportunity to invite the community to join the IGF's intersessional work primarily, but also other platforms that exist to elevate these good solutions that exist in this region. And I think it's a huge loss for the global community not to be fully aware of the so many homemade solutions that we've heard so far. Particularly, I want to echo what Juan said, telemedicine is something that I think is not enough represented in the concept of internet governance, and it is critically important. I think nothing has shown us, as the COVID-19 pandemic, for example, that these are the topics we need to discuss. And there's a lot of innovation on this topic here. So that's particularly an area where I would like to encourage the community to be more active through the IGF process. And we will do our homework as well, which is to draw the attention of the global community to this region and to these important topics. And the second part is just to recognize the wonderfully done logistics of this meeting. No hiccups with remote participation, with the interpretation. We have to observe that all of us organizing these types of meetings are aware that this requires a particular skill and organization, and I just want to recognize the excellent hospitality in that sense as well by our host country. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And you know, we would also like to thank the Internet Governance Forum. We have here with us Mr. Shangatai, who's in person here in Cuba, attending our Caribbean Internet Governance Forum. So we would like to thank you for taking time to participate in these discussions. All right. Anyone online? No? Yeah. Okay, while they get to me, okay, we'll take our next speaker.
Sí, buenas tardes. Quiero aprovechar brevemente para agradecer a los organizadores del evento, como parte de la sociedad civil y específicamente como habitante del Centro Histórico de La Habana, donde compartimos servicios que hoy nos honran, que se trabaja en contribución de la transformación digital y habiendo escuchado las intervenciones que nos antecedieron.
And as I listen to the various discussions about digital transformation, I wanted to express a word of appreciation and thanks for events like this, in which we see the promotion of capacity building for us, you know, this principle of database decision-making processes. And as Dr. Osebile, I would say, you know, the main thing is not to disrupt, but rather to lead and then utilize all of the capacities in order to meet our purposes, which is to improve the living conditions of the people who live, you know, in all towns like ours, you know, the old Havana, you know. So I think meetings like this are very useful and they are very inspiring, you know. We're also happy to hear that the platform Soberanía is helping, you know, organize processes and services in a comprehensive manner, and it gives us hope to see that integration goes beyond, you know, the local environment and into the regional environment, including the Caribbean and the people in the Caribbean. So I want to thank you for this opportunity to be in attendance of this meeting.
I think there was someone online. Carlos, are you going to read the comment? Who's going to read it? Oh, the person is live? Okay. Oh, Albert Daniels from ICANN. All right, you're live? I think you're muted. We're not hearing you. Just a minute, Albert. We're not hearing you. Yeah? Is that your mic? Your mic? He said his mic is on. Yeah, he said his mic is on. Okay. While we rectify that, yeah? Vistos? Okay, we're still not hearing him. In the meantime, Albert, can you pause briefly? We're going to take someone from the audience. El próximo. ¿Quién alguien?
Sí.
¿Sí?
Bueno, nosotros queremos en la tarde de hoy.
This afternoon, I wanted to express our appreciation and thanks for the trust placed in us, Cuba, to host this Caribbean Internet Governance Forum here. And we would like to receive from you, that is, receive from you experts from the Caribbean, that is, who accompanying us in our next National Internet Governance Forum here, so that together we can expand our knowledge base and increase our regional integration for the purpose of internet governance. We have interesting topics, as after the pandemic, and as was mentioned here, that is matters pertaining to digital economics. These things are occurring in Cuba, and that is what is happening in Cuba in terms of taxation, sales, and many other topics that are internet-based. And there are many other topics that I will not discuss now, but every year we are seeking to implement a program that is consistent with our country's evolution, and we would like to share our experiences with regional experiences in order to chart our course forward. And perhaps it would be interesting to, you see, in the interest of time, I didn't mention this in my intervention, but you see, Cuba has shown a different way, to inclusiveness by bringing our forums down to our provinces, and in fact, over 1,600 or 1,800 people from our communities have been participating directly in these forum meetings, and this can also be of interest for the Caribbean, and we can also showcase it internationally, because based on our intent to uphold the principles of governance, we are reaching out to our society rather than calling society to come to us at a meeting that is being held at a specific venue. This is the kind of experience I wanted to share with you, and thank you very much for listening.
Important, as we have made an in-person connection with the people of Cuba, with those in the digital space. So going forward, there will be greater collaboration between the CTU, Cuba, and the rest of the CTU member countries. Albert, are we ready for him?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
Mic test? You can hear me?
Yes.
Great. So I wanted to emphasize the term participation, because the CTU needs to be congratulated on this important work that it is doing in mobilizing the Caribbean. And I just wanted to encourage individuals to participate in local events, participate in regional events, participate in international fora, in person where possible, or virtually if not possible, to ensure that their voices and the voice of the multi-stakeholder community is heard broadly and features into policy making at an international level. The multi-stakeholder model allows for public comments on various policies that are being developed, and it is important that we as a Caribbean ensure that our voices are heard. So I want to congratulate the CTU and encourage everybody who has heard about this Caribbean Internet Governance Forum, or who eventually reads the documents in the future, to participate and ensure that their voices are heard. Congratulations.
Thank you, Albert. And I can attest that within the last 4 years or so, we have seen greater Caribbean participation at these international events. I would like to thank our Secretary General, who's an advocate for Caribbean participation in the international forum. Mr. Changatai.
Thank you very much. I just wanted to wait until almost last, I hope, because I just wanted to outdo my sister organization, the ITU. This is my first Caribbean Internet Governance Forum, but this forum was the first amongst 175 that we have now. And I don't know why I waited so long to come, but maybe it was because I was waiting for Cuba to host. But this has been an excellent meeting, and I would like to really congratulate the CTU, Rodney Taylor, the Secretary General, for all the great work, and the team, and also the participants. I mean, it's rich discussion, good depth, and good socializing as well. And it does also underline the importance of meeting together and discussing the regional situation here. which I think is very, very important. And also, I would continue to encourage you to, yes, once we've discussed here, it's very important to make sure that the discussions here are inputted into the global discussion as well. And we can also assist with that, but you can also do it yourselves as well. So thank you very much. I've been going to Internet Governance Forums for the past 20 years, and this really is one of the top ones. So thank you.
I think that deserves an applause. Thank you very much, Mr. Changatek, for your kind words.
Bishop? All right, so let me express my appreciation as well for coming in person. It really means a lot, and I think it has added to the gravitas, the level of professionalism, the profile of the conference for being here in person. And we knew that there may have been some challenges in terms of participation in Cuba because of the issues with the embargo and so on, but we're really pleased that we decided to host nonetheless. Cuba is a member of CTU, long-standing, and as you can see, the facilitation was excellent. I want to thank the team. So you're not seeing the entire CTU team. We have people working behind the scenes to help make the event smooth. So thanks to the team that worked behind the scenes, Shanae and others. Shanae moderated panel on Monday, on the first day. We also have a team back at the Secretariat, Ms. Nia Nanan, our Senior Research Analyst, Francola John, our event coordinator, and several others who worked tirelessly behind the scenes to make sure that everything came together. So thank you all to the CTU staff who couldn't be here. The Youth Network as well did an excellent job hosting the 4th Youth Internet Governance Forum, as Tariq mentioned, recognized as well by the UN as a NRI. Nigel Casimir, I believe Anya mentioned Nigel. Nigel is not here. He's in Chile attending a CTEL meeting, but Nigel consistently attends the UN IGF and reports on the work that we're doing here. So there may be possibilities in particular for the intersessional work, but we can assure you that we will continue to support the Global Forum and ensure that we update the world on what is happening here in the Caribbean. Thank you.
Thank you, Secretary General. Do we have time for more questions? Do we have any more questions?
One other thing I forgot to mention, our excellent host, our Masters of Ceremony, Tyron and Dr. Terry Carell. I first saw Dr. Terry at a Canto meeting, I think it was in 2022, and I said, I have to get her to host a CTU meeting. So this is my dream come true as well, and I knew the minute we said Cuba that it would be dear to her and that she would be very keen on coming. So thank you so much, Terry, for excellent facilitation, and to Dyron as well. And you worked so well together.
Yes.
You worked so well together. It was really, really good. So thank you so much for honoring us with your presence.
Yes, I love the synergy between our two hosts. We would have thought that they have been working together all their lives, but this is the first time you've met? Great job. Yes, and yes, they have a nexus. I mean, Terry has studied here in Cuba, and Dyron has Jamaican roots. So they're probably family. They are family. All right. Any more questions? Feedback? No? Yeah? Se acabó. But thank you very much for your attention. Sorry, I'm not hearing.
The ministry report. I didn't really underline the ministry.
Okay, no problem. We just wanted to highlight and underline the minister's support. Yes, she has been very supportive, and we thank you for agreeing to host the CIGF here in Cuba. We're really appreciative of your efforts. Thank you, Minister. That's it.
Thank you so very much. Thank you. Thank you so very much, Michelle. We absolutely appreciate it. Se acabó la fiesta todavía. In Jamaica, we have a saying, we little, but we talawa, que significa que nosotros, aunque seamos pequeños, chiquiticos, somos fuertes, somos gigantes, ¿no? And there are other islands within the Caribbean who have also adopted the saying, we little, but we talawa. And what I want to remind us, because studying here for 5-6 years made me know something about Cuba, that despite whatever has been placed upon them, they have always been resourceful, they've always been resilient, they've always been tough, they've always been hardworking, and they're always going to produce. And so I use this opportunity to say that as the Caribbean, we are small in size in terms of the size of our islands. We're small in terms of population, pero somos lo máximo. Talentoso, productivo, trabajador. Yes or no? Yes or no? And so if we continue together, learning, growing, assessing, sharing, there is nothing that we cannot do as a region. And so I now invite the Secretary General of the CTU, Rodney Taylor, to give the penultimate address, and then we will invite the Minister to do so. So thank you very much, Gabriel Johnson, and I invite the SG.
Thank you very much, Terry. I don't have a speech. I think I gave my speech on Monday. And really, I just want to invite the minister to have the last word. I really like this phrase, though, that Michelle introduced in her vote of thanks, and I know you know it quite well. Con todos y para el bien de todos. I really like that. And it is in that spirit of solidarity that the CTU, as I mentioned, I've said over and over, we will continue this collaboration with Cuba. We are proud to have Cuba as a member, and really honored to be here. And we thank you for the support that you've given to CTU over the years. And we look forward to welcoming you, as I said, hopefully in Jamaica with the rest of the ministers. I invite all of you as well to participate in our ICT Week in Jamaica. That's happening September 29th. To October the 3rd. We have our ministerial seminar. We will be talking about some of these topics and some of the policy implications around artificial intelligence, around sovereign satellite connectivity in the Caribbean, around building more resilient infrastructure, data governance, and so on. The support for the youth network, we'll be tabling a number of resolutions there within ICT Week. In that same week, we also have a regulators forum. I think that's maybe the 12th or 13th Regional Regulators Forum, and the objective is to ensure that there's harmonization around the ICT regulations within the region. We're getting tremendous support from the ITU and we're working also with the African states because they have established regional regulatory bodies, and we are looking to do the same in the Caribbean to promote one common digital space. We'll also be having I think it would be the third youth network meeting of our young people. Last year we were honored to have the Secretary General of the ITU to speak to the young people there in St. Kitts and Nevis. That's when we had our last one. And so the young people will be joining us in Jamaica for the youth network meeting. And we will also be having a workshop for persons with disabilities. So how can we leverage technology to support persons with disabilities, the blind, hearing impaired, and so on. The ITU will be joining us there for our partner to connect a workshop. So the ITU has a global pledging platform for persons and companies and organizations that want to promote connectivity, and they'll be having a bilateral meeting there with Jamaica on how they can leverage the partner to connect pledging platform to support connectivity in Jamaica. And the UPU, I don't see Tracy here, but the UPU will also be doing a repeat of the workshop that they did here in Cuba, in Jamaica, working with the Postal Union. And I signed an MOU with the Director General of the Universal Postal Union in 2022 to promote cooperation and digital transformation of the postal sector. When I worked in Barbados as the Chief Digital Technology Officer, we worked very closely, working along with the postal sector to deliver the credentials, passports, driver's license, so persons can apply, and it's a door-to-door service. No need to go to a government office. And so there's tremendous opportunities for collaboration with the postal sector. I look forward also in particular as an outcome of this discussion to work in the area of telemedicine. I have already messaged the head of the Caribbean Public Health Agency, and I mentioned this to her with the possibility of collaborating. So for me, it is fine to talk. These discussions are great. But for me, I want to see some tangible outcomes and some actions for us in the Caribbean. So you have my commitment and my pledge to do that. So having said all of that, I will now give the floor over to the Honourable Minister to give us the final word. Please welcome her.
Buenas tardes a todos. Comienzo a agradecer.
Good afternoon, everyone. I just want to thank the Secretary General, and I reaffirm, the comments, the points raised by many of the participants here. It is a source of satisfaction and pleasure for us, and it's also a source of joy, to continue to support unity within the Caribbean and our peoples, distinguished participants, young people and colleagues from the Caribbean. As we come to the end of this 21st Forum of Governance in the Caribbean and the 4th Youth Forum, let me recognize the energy that you have contributed to these spaces of dialogue and cooperation. These forums are a reflection of our diverse, vibrant and region in order to address the challenges and opportunities of the digital environment with responsibility and shared vision. We have witnessed profound discussions about the challenges being faced in the internet governance, including digital inclusiveness, cybersecurity, and women's empowerment for the use of technologies. But most inspiring has been the active participation of the Caribbean young people who have shown with their ideas and leadership and proposals that the driver to have a more safer internet is them. This event has shown us that the Caribbean young people are prepared to own these digital technologies, but can also shape policies and promote initiatives and develop solutions so that our internet can be a space of equity, diversity, and sustainable development. As we close this meeting, our call is to continue to build bridges among our countries, sectors, and generations. Let us continue to support the young voices as we promote digital education and strengthening regional cooperation in order to address the future challenges with unity and resolve. Cuba offers itself to promote regional proposals that contribute to these purposes. Cuba, just like the other Caribbean countries, is implementing all of these efforts in spite of colossal challenges arising from the unfair economic order. In our case, we are also confronted for more than 6 decades the economic, commercial, and financial blockade imposed by the U.S. government, which represents the #1 stumbling block for the socioeconomic development of our country. No sector in Cuba has escaped the effects from this illegal and unfair policy in the area of communications and ICTs. This is not an exception. Add to this the arbitrary designation of Cuba on a list designed by the U.S. Department of State as terror-sponsoring country. This is a baseless designation that has no international support. In spite of all of these obstacles, we are not deterred. Cuba has a system of science, technology, and innovation in place. And we also have our human resources trained by the revolution in the essential disciplines and the political willingness to move forward with creative resistance and with the willingness of heroic and resilient people. Thank you for your contributions and for being part of this digital transformation in the Caribbean. Together we are building the shared future of our region. We will meet again in our next meeting. Let us stay connected. Let us continue to innovate, and in particular, let us continue to cooperate with integration and responsibility from Cuba. We ratify our commitment to an inclusive, sovereign, and at the integration on the basis. So let us bring our efforts together so that the Caribbean can not only adopt technologies, but own technologies and create technologies for use in the benefit of our peoples. Thank you very much.
Desarrollando el Caribe y en nuestro país. Gracias.
So we're going to take a photo. SG is going to make himself look very elegante before he gets the photo taken.
El secretario general se quiere ponerle.
Whisky? Qué elegante. Muchísimas gracias.
Gracias.
No, por
Gracias.
nada.
Hermana cubana.
Ah, hermana cubana, ¿oíste? We'll do. We'll definitely, and we will definitely play the theme song that Aramis did for this particular engagement. How are we? How do we feel? ¿Cómo estamos? Bien. Como dicen los cubanos, ¿nos vamos tumbando o todavía?
No, nos falta algo todavía.
Nos falta. Okay. The Caribbean. We've done it. We did it. We had 3 days of debates. There was networking. There was the coffee breaks. There was the online presentations, the agendas. Everything that we did also showed digital solidarity.
La verdad es que hemos vivido días emocionantes. Yo que, por ejemplo, al igual que usted,
I have been moved by the fact that having attended different Caribbean moments, we can only call ourselves brothers and sisters. So I think about the poets of the Caribbean. What we have enjoyed here is instead of a symphony. Every country contributed with its own notes, and each panel has built the lyrics that sing for the Caribbean. And the universe is our force, and the ocean is not separating us, but rather keeps us united. So,
necessary and urgent topics. Digital harms, deep fakes. How do we protect our children, the youth in the world, where screens sometimes hide more than they show?
también miramos hacia adentro. Escuchamos a nuestras islas compartir su camino en la transformación digital con proyectos que no son solo tecnologías.
Not only technology, but bridges for local development and innovation, reaches out to every community, every woman, every person. Nobody can be left out.
Data governance is not just for tech experts. It belongs to us all. Because in the end, our likes, our chats, our playlists, our photos, our selfies, they're all data. And those data also show who we are, our identity. Therefore, we must create and experience, I say we are creative by nature.
Como decían nuestros ponentes, cerramos con una brújula estratégica.
As they said, we are closing with a strategic campus because we need strategies and we need to lay down clear-cut paths so that this is not a promise but a shared reality.
Forget the youths. Every encounter of this kind always leaves us with something positive. But when we heard from the youths on the very first day, they really wanted to say, we want a seat at the table. We want to be able to decide because the future is actually not tomorrow, it is here. And the generation is already pushing the doors open and they're taking a seat.
¿Con qué me quedo yo? Con tu amistad.
I'll have your friendship and the certainty that going over the digital Caribbean is not cables or algorithms, but having innovations touching the real lives of people in schools in Guyana, in the entrepreneurship of a woman like Jamaica, like Terry, who is moving the world, any place in the Caribbean. And each moment will be recorded in a video, which is more than a video. It is what we have gone through together in these days.
Ay, qué rico.
Qué sabroso.
Can we just make it even louder for the hardworking production team who had to edit all of these videos in real time, and our very hardworking translators. Thank you so very much for your awesome, awesome help. So what do you do when what you've done has just been amazing? The question is, so what's next? We can't lose the momentum. We return to our islands or to our communities with the task of turning the words into action. What must become deeds should not remain only in the minutes.
Porque el Caribe de Internet y también la gobernanza como el Caribe mismo, ¿no?
Because the Caribbean governance and the Caribbean is not solitude, it is created in the plural, and what we create here should go beyond with us and beyond these walls and beyond. But
Panelists, every organizer, for anyone who has traveled, those who joined us online, thank you so very much. For those of you who are here in the room, who asked a question, who gave an answer, or had commentary, thank you. Thank you so very much for being here.
¿Sabes qué? Vamos a dejar los guiones. Porque la
we will leave you with the scripts because you convey so much energy. Let us go over the fourth wall or barrier. Let us all stand. There is a philosophy that I learned in an African city founded by a faraway tribe in history. They practice Budundu, is the philosophy. Please clench your hands and tell the person beside you, I am what you are. I am because you are. Because I am because you are.
Porque nosotros somos.
Because we are.
I am because we are.
Y decir
And because we are.
Que nosotros somos productivos.
Our dear colleague says that we are productive, loving. We are big. Well, that's one word. We are partying. We like parties. There is a song that I have for Terry. I know she likes it very much. Let's listen to it.
¿Recuerda eso? ¡Que no me toque la puerta! ¡Que el negro está cocinando! ¡Vamos!
Y creo que de esta manera estamos cerrando nuestro encuentro.
Our meeting. Have a good dance. Thank you very much.
So we'd just like to say thank you very much to those of you who are traveling. We wish you journeying mercies. To the organizers, to the Secretary General, all of you who are heads of agencies and governments, thank you for the work that you are doing and that you will continue to do. And Cuba, venceremos siempre.
Cuba siempre les abría
Cuba will always have its doors open to you. Thank you very much. We will meet again. A big hug to all of you.
Desde las islas hasta las costas brillantes, voces que se alzan.
Le recordamos en este momento que hay un cóctel para brindar por todo lo hecho y por todo lo...
There is a cocktail party for all of you so that we can continue conversing and dreaming. Music, please.